So if you're like me, you may have woken up this morning to the horrifying news about the shooting in Las Vegas. I actually couldn't sleep and got up before 5 o'clock and found myself inundated with all this news. Feeling all kinds of emotion, confusion, sorrow, anguish. But of course, these are the times that if you are a spiritual person, if you're on this journey of spirituality in some way, shape, or form, in any way, in a religious way, in a non-religious way, however that spiritual journey may look to you, it's these times that ask us to remember what we talk about, remember what we teach, to practice what we hear over and over again, whether it be at seminars or maybe at church, or as we read books or listen to podcasts on the subject of spirituality. And so taking these emotions of confusion, I just laid in bed for a while and thought, what does it all mean? How can I approach this as a person who tries to live from a spiritual perspective throughout life? So the first thing to do is to open our hearts with compassion for all of those friends and family who are affected by this event. To, in whatever way you choose to, whatever your practice is, to send a prayer or a thought or a meditation, whatever your practice is, to take a moment and hold those people in your heart and in your mind, and hold for them a place of peace, some kind of solace that in some way, shape, or form, that they will be able to get through this. Which leads me to step number 2 as a spiritual person. These are my 3 steps. This is what I came up with laying in bed this morning. Number 2, to allow this event to remind us that life is short in this physical body, and that we shouldn't let a day go by, not a day, without being grateful for each breath we take and for the people that we love. To allow this tragedy to change us in some way. And number three, as a person who endeavors to live a spiritual life, what came up for me was to remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And whatever your religion is, whatever your practice is, however you choose to see that we are here for but a short time in this body, in this form, but that in my practice, that we continue on eternally, and in this way, we can find peace. That we know we hold a place for a peaceful transition for those who have lost their lives, who have lost this physical expression of life, and have now moved on to that spiritual, eternal expression. That this is the deepest truth, and in it we can find peace, and we hold a place for the loved ones of those who have lost their loved ones, to step into that truth, that we are all here for but a short time, and that when we remember this deeper truth, that we are spiritual beings, that we are eternal beings, we can eventually find peace. And so, number one, Say a prayer for those who have lost a loved one, for those who have been injured, that they may know peace. Allow this moment to open our hearts to compassion. We can't fully understand why. Number 2, allow it to change us, to remember that we are here in this form for but a very short time, and that we should never take for granted each breath we take, those that we love, and those that and the experiences that we get to have while in this body. And number 3, to remember what is for every single person who is of faith or spiritual, whatever that is for you. We have something in common no matter what our religious beliefs are or our spiritual teachings or beliefs. We have something in common. Certainly, we all of us, share the idea that we are eternal. And so we fall back upon this, and we pray or hope that those deeply affected, directly affected, can lean into that truth and find some kind of solace. So let's take a deep breath today and hold a place for healing and for knowing of our deepest truths.